So, how's that backlog of yours going? And you know, your backlog. The thing that you swore up and down that you were gonna get through? The thing that's been haunting you for months, years, and maybe even decades on end? The thing that you keep adding on to because you keep booting up your comfort games over and over again?
What sort of crazy moon talk is he speaking?
Yep, I know the pain. Besides the game crashing in a crucial moment, deleting a save on accident, and a job application,
You said the bad word.
a backlog has to be one of a gamer's biggest fears. For those not in the know, a backlog is basically an accumulation of uncompleted work/task. So in this context, a gamer's backlog is just a bunch of games a person has and wants to play or hasn't finished. And I can tell you right now, as someone that's been gaming for basically his whole life, I got a bunch. A backlog is just something that haunts you during your merry day. I mean, I can't launch anything without hearing the faint cries in my Steam library, begging me to play them while I boot up Fortnite for the 1000th time. Hey, it's not my fault Resident Evil doesn't have Playboy Cardi in it, idiots. Yeah. A backlog is just a staple in a gamer's life, or hell, anyone's. We all have movies we wanted to watch, shows we've been recommended countless times that we say we'll get to, albums we have to listen to, books that have just been sitting on our shelves and haven't read, etc. Everybody has a backlog, and it just sucks to have one. So where did my journey start? How did I end up with the mess of a backlog I have today? Well, it all started when I was a wee little... No, I'm not talking like that. Well, it all started when I was a kid. My library of games was small, so I didn't really have much I could call a backlog per se, but it would all change really soon. You see, one of the things I would always play on was my old crusty, dusty laptop that had a bunch of emulators on it. I had emulators for the N64, GBA, and DS at the time. And to the Nintendo ninjas watching, I was lying. I actually had an emulator for the N-Gage, the Gizmondo, and the Hyperscan. Okay?
Cap.
And I had a tiny bit of games on this thing that I would play all the time. Golden Sun, Phoenix Wright, Pokemon Emerald, Paper Mario, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. All of these games I would play over and over again. But because I was a little dumb, stupid, dumb kid at the time, I never finished any of them, making them a part of my backlog. An unfinished game, man, my backlog is full of those. I've played so many games during my life, but if you ask me how many I finished, don't. All of those games I mentioned were in my backlog for years, but now I can officially say I have completed 2 of them.
He's a bum!
Yeah, Phoenix Wright and Emerald were the only games I've completed since then. And it's funny too, because I feel like those were the games I had the least amount of progress in. I mean, in Emerald, I was stuck in a pretty early area of the game and kept on resetting, and in Phoenix Wright, I would stop on the 2nd episode because I was scared of this lady.
She is such a bad bitch though.
It's crazy to think that my backlog has spanned over multiple years of my life at this point. I mean, back then I didn't even have much games and I still had a backlog, and now it's gotten worse. Over the years, I've gotten more consoles and more games to play, meaning more games to add to my juicy backlog. So how does one even end up with a backlog to begin with? I mean, how does one buy a game with the sole purpose of playing it and either don't finish it or don't play the game at all? Well, there's a few factors to it. Number 1, buying games for cheap and letting them sit in your library.
You really think someone would do that?
We've all done it before. We've all bought something that we don't really use like that, or never used at all. Don't lie to me. Now, it's less likely that you buy a game full price and not play it, because when you're buying the game full price, that is a full commitment. I mean, it ain't not me though, but you know what I'm saying. It's more likely that the games that are sitting in your library right now are the games that you got on sale, or just really cheap. Gaming is an expensive hobby. We all know this. So when those expensive games go on the cheaper side, then whoo, boy am I on that. Now, if you know anything about PC gaming, you would know that it is extremely cheap to get a big library. Steam is a wallet's worst nightmare. They be having sales every single day. And we're not getting no weak ass 10% off. No. You see, Steam found out that you like The Witcher 3, so they're giving it to you for basically free. I've bought in so many games for cheap over the year, and yeah, I haven't really touched a lot of them, which is pretty bad because they keep on stockpiling and, geez, but like, At least you get them at a bargain.
Is this nigga serious?
Number 2, getting distracted with a game you've already played.
Guess I'll just buy the games again.
Ooh, you see, I could play SMT3 Nocturne, but Rivals is calling my name. Seriously, replaying a game you're already familiar with and fond of will beat any desire to play through anything new. To think my 2,577 hours on Fortnite could have been converted into time on Borderlands or Elden Ring or Honey Pot. I mean, hey, replaying a game ain't a crime, everyone does it, but it's a really good way to annoy that backlog, that's for sure. Number 3, getting a new game that completely replaces the game that you're already playing.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
So, back in September, I got SMT Raido Remaster, and so far, it's been fantastic. I played a bit of the original on an emulator a few years ago, so being able to play it on high definition with voice acting and a new combat system, it was just great. I was slowly but surely getting through all the events and soon enough finished episode 3 by September 19th. You know what I did the very next day? Buy Hades. And oh my god, is this game so good. I have been addicted to this game for the past 2 months now. Nothing else matters. I have clocked in over 100 hours in the 2 months I have been playing this game, and I am still not done. I have been grinding my ass off to get to Epilogue, but no one wants to unlock their fucking hearts. I mean, Zeus, come on, just talk to me about how much of a fuck up you are. Danatos, just let me date you already. I already got Megara and Dusa, and I want you too. Patroclus, stop avoiding me. I need Death Defiance. It's ASAP. And Cerberus. JK, I already maxed you out. You're such a good boy, aren't you? Oh, wait, what was the game I was playing before?
You're a dummy, bitch.
I haven't touched Raido since I got Hades. It's just too good, alright? And I'm scared that if I finish Hades and get Hades 2, that will be the same thing all over again. I am so sorry, Raido. You know I love you. So yeah, those are just a few things that could occur that can make a game end up in your backlog. All of these things have happened to me more times than I can count and caused me to have the backlog that I do today. But I've been talking about backlog this and backlog that. I haven't actually talked about my personal backlog. Well, if you really want to know, Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, and 3. Damn near half of the Resident Evils. Yes, I know. 4 used to be on this list too, but I finished it back in the summer of last year, so we Gucci. So I've owned Resident Evil 0 and 1 remake for a while now on Steam, and the only reason I haven't gone around to playing them is because they keep on crashing every time I boot it up. Now I could try to troubleshoot and see what's going on, but I never really had the motivation to do so. Maybe one day, but who knows. As for 2 and 3, I bought the remakes after I finished the remake for 4, but trying to play them after playing through 4 was a little hard. Resident Evil 4 was when the series switched to a more action-based gameplay instead of the more survival horror stuff from the other games. And yes, I know that 2 and 3 don't really play like 4, but it still wasn't really jiving with me that much. I think the problem was that I tried to play these games right after I played 4, so all the stuff that I remembered from 4 not being there really threw me off. Limited resources, limited inventory, limited save points. Having to deal with all of that right after playing 4 really messed me up. I think now I can finally play those games after not playing 4 for a while, so yep, who knows.
Here's another one.
Persona 1 and 2 duology. Now I am a huge fan of Persona. I've been a fan of this series since 2019 when I first played through Persona 5 and absolutely loving it. Over the years I've made it through all the modern games. I played through Persona 5 and then played through Royal when it released, played through Persona 3 Portable on my crusty smartphone at the time. Yes, we were really in the trenches before 2022. I played through Persona 3 Reload and then Persona 4. Took me over 5 years to get to, but hey, I got through it like early this year, so you know, that's good. But the OG Persona games have always been in the back of my mind for a while. I've played Persona 1 and Innocent Sin, and I've enjoyed them even though they played nothing like the modern games. But completing them was a whole nother thing. The farthest I've gotten was with Persona 1, where I got all the way to recruiting Reggie, who's a real stickler to get, but that's about it. Maybe one day I'll get to it, but until then, that means more Balloon CD6 for me!
Okay.
Final Fantasy. Can you believe I own 5 whole Final Fantasies and I haven't finished any of them? I have always been interested in the Final Fantasy series with my love for Kingdom Hearts and the fact that the games have always looked so cool. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed all the ones I dabbled in, but just haven't gotten around to completing them. I am rectifying this, however, as I am finally going through Final Fantasy VII Remake, and nothing will stop me no matter what. Especially since I said it in this video, so it would be embarrassing if I said it and haven't completed it, so you know, just I'll get to it.
Sorry, not open for business yet.
Devil May Cry. DMC is also a series that I thought is really cool, and I've always wanted to get into it for a while now. I have the collection sitting on my Steam library as we speak, but besides me playing DMC 3 for a little bit and that little stint with me playing DMC 1 on my Switch, I haven't really done much progressing in it. I'll definitely get into DMC 3 at some point, as the little bit I played of the game was absolutely awesome. Don't worry, Dante, just let me get to Diamond on Marvel Rivals and I'll be right with you. In about 20 years.
This nigga is trash.
Fallout, or hell, any Bethesda game really, has been in the back burner for me for some time now. These are series that I've heard so much about, and I've only heard good things about them, and I really want to get into them. It's just, I don't really know. It feels like everyone has experience with one of these games. I mean, I have a little bit. I played a little bit of Fallout 4, 3, and New Vegas, and a little bit of Skyrim, but that's really it. I never really sat down and fully played one of these games, which is really what I'm talking about. I've always been intrigued with them, but I don't know, I just never really gotten around to it. Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Now with GTA, I've always wanted to play the series for a while now, with the only game I ever played and finished being GTA 5, and that was all the way back when I was a kid. More specifically, the games that I really want to get into are San Andreas and GTA 4, especially GTA 4. Oh my goodness, this game has been staring at me since I was a kid. Hold up, Roman, we're gonna go bowling real soon, I promise. Now as for Red Dead Redemption, I've been wanting to play these games for a long time now. Like seriously, people put these games on their top 10 best games of all time, so like yeah, I need to get to them at some point. I have both of these games on my Xbox, and while I could play them, that requires me to actually plug in my Xbox, which I haven't done for a while. But hey, no more Xbox. Hey, I already done that last video, which you can watch on the card above. Pokemon. As someone who has had Pokemon injected in their bloodstreams for as long as I've lived, it's sad knowing that I haven't finished all the games yet. I finished Kanto with Fire Red, went through Hoenn with Emerald, went through the best region ever, Unova with White 1 and 2, Argue with Your Mama, went through Alola with Sun, and Paldea with Violet. And I'm like this close to finishing Galar with Pokemon Sword, but I haven't touched that game since 2022 and have zero motivation to complete it, so yeah, that's just dead. So I've completed a good amount of Pokemon games so far, but I still haven't beaten anything from Johto, Sinnoh, or Kalos yet. Now Johto I got the furthest in, but never actually completed it. I haven't made it that far in Sinnoh, and with Kalos, the less we talk about it, the better. And alright, that's all the recapping I'm gonna do. There's plenty more games that are in my backlog as we speak, but if I go ahead and list all of them, we'd be here forever. So with all this being said, how do we tackle this beast known as the backlog? We can't let it haunt us forever, we need to actually finish it, you know? Well, the only thing I can really think of is just finally stepping out of our comfort zones and just do it. Just play the game. There's no harm in booting them up. I'm currently doing some much needed catching up right now, so why don't you? I'm finally playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake again. I just booted up Golden Sun for the first time in years. Raido will get played soon enough, I promise. I'll finally get through all the Pokemon games I've missed, and I'll stand up and finally beat through Paper Mario and make my younger self proud. You know what doesn't get talked about enough? The joy of playing and finishing a game that has been collecting dust in your library for years. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I've been stuck on Persona 4 for 5 years, and just early this year I finally pushed through and beat it. And when I finally got around to going through the game, going through the stories and challenges, and finally seeing the credits roll, it made me so happy. So I challenge you now, go out there and actually finish those games you've been meaning to play. I think Fortnite could wait just a little bit. Oh shit, wait, Fortnite is adding Playboy Cardi on Thursday. Oh, scratch everything I said. This will be the only game I care about. Fuck you, Rhino.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Drop. Get your body shot. You gon' kill me, but pussy boy, no you not. Baby, this the real me. Is you gon' fuck me for a knot? I got real EMTs, I set them up for shot. Okay, stop. Drop. Get your body shot.